Okay, no cars, mental camera, and I've just pressed record. Hey, it's a car! Hey, that's got to be, within 10 seconds, they're back. Didn't work so much last time I was here. They were well over a minute, but and there's one coming behind me now, so it's working. A very hazy mental. It's like a freezing type fog. But anyway, as you can see, anyway, I'll give you zoom in for me. You can see it's a very hazy, like a freezing fog. Very cold. Oh, it's another car. See, they're back. They're back. So yeah, 25 years documenting the mental. So yeah, and Saturday morning, see if Mr. Security's about. He didn't want to come and have a word last week. He was parked the other side of the gate. If you watch my videos, you know you'll know why. And I thought he would come and have a word or whatever, but he just sat there watching me. So anyway, right, nurse's home, mental. 25 years documenting it. It's just something I got into, and it ain't going to stop anytime soon. Right, prior to the 1800s, people with mental health issues were treated totally different to how they are treated today. In fact, they weren't treated at all. They were tortured, they were burnt at the stake because they thought they were possessed by demons, or they were manacled and locked away in cellars and attics and stuff like that. But after the 1800s, people were beginning to understand mental health issues, and over the years, hospitals and asylums were sprouting up, such as you can see now, the North Wales Hospital, or it was originally called the Denbigh Asylum, but we just call it, locals as Denbighites, we just call it the mental. No disrespect to people with mental health issues, but we just call it the mental. And with regards to the mental, there were like 4, should we say, categories of patients. They were locked in. Patients were locked in. There was wards that they were locked in all day, and then there was patients which were allowed out into the airing courts. They weren't allowed out into the grounds or outside of the grounds, but they were allowed out into the airing courts, which was either side of the front buildings. There was one there. It was like a walled opening, a walled area, and there was one there either side, and there was a door leading into it. Like I say, it was a walled area, and all they used to thank you, and all they used to do was just wander around all day. At least they were getting a bit of sunshine and a bit of, you know, fresh air. And then there was a category of patients where they were allowed out into the town, just to make their way that way and over the top and down Love Lane, and but they had to be supervised. They had to have a nurse or an attendant with them. And then there was a category of the patients where they could just come and go as they pleased. You just see them wandering around town on their own. You know, they were unsupervised and all that. So that's like the 4 sort of categories of the mental. So don't know, Mr. Security, no sign of him today, unless he's obviously he's at the back somewhere like that, where he was last week. He was driving around, and so yeah, I just thought I'd pop back and just let you know it's non-stop cars. Yeah, 25 years now I've been documenting this place. It's just something that I got into. I first started filming it with a Super 8 camera, which I don't think I've got that footage now. God, my hand is freezing. Should have put some gloves on. Yeah, anyway, I'll have to look at Taliban, see what's going on up there. It's getting done up. It's had all new windows and stuff like that, because Taliban and the Gwynfryn are the wards over there. They were wards to do with the mental, but they, like I said, they were totally separate. Yeah, this camera record cars. So it's back, it's working, and that house there That's nothing to do with the mental, that's just a private house. But I don't know why it's all boarded up like that. And there's no for sale sign on it or nothing, but it's weird. Anyway, no sign of Mr. Security. There's nothing going on in Taliban. It's all building materials and stuff. But so yeah, just a bit of history of people with mental health. You know, it was not understood. You know, they were burning them. They thought they were either witches or they got possessed and stuff. You know, no one knew what mental health. They just thought they're possessed by demons, and you know, or they torture them and things like that. It's unbelievable. Which you know, I've talked over the years of the mental up to a certain date. They were locked in at night from 10 AM till 6 in the morning. There was no nurses, no doctors, no attendants. They just locked all the wards, locked the corridors, locked the main door, locked the gates, and they just left them there all night. The patients were just on their own, and quite often they'd open up at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, and they'd go around the wards and be one or two patients had died in the night. So anyway, and up to about the 50s and 60s, there was only 2 locked wards in the mental. They improved over the years. It was more understood, and drugs and, you know, therapy and treatments was developed over the years. So yeah, it was just 2, the 50s and 60s. There was only 2 wards which were the patients were locked in during the day. So, and it was only supposed to be a 200-bed hospital, the mental. That's what it was planned for. And at its peak, it had just under 1,500 patients. It was only supposed to be 200-bedded hospital. And in one ward, there was something like 140, 145 beds. It was absolutely crammed, packed with beds. And the beds, like I've spoken about it before, like the beds were side by side, and the patients had to get in and out of the bed from the end, you know, from the foot of the bed. They couldn't use the sides of the bed. They were that tightly packed. My hand is absolutely, well, both hands, but especially this hand holding the camera, it's absolutely freezing. Should have put some gloves on. Right, so that'll do me for this update. I'll wander down to the front gates and what have you, and if Mr. Security makes an appearance, he'll be in the grounds here somewhere. He'll be wandering, or sometimes he parks up and he goes for a wander, and then sometimes he drives round. So, anyway, obviously, basically, yeah, if you're interested, I'm getting a lot of new subscribers. Could it be the mental? I don't know, because I do such varied stuff. But I know I'd get a lot of interest on the mental, and I know 1 or 2 they couldn't care less, but just don't watch my videos, and it's not rocket science, is it? You know, there's no point in North Wales Hospital updates and then you click on it and then you moan. There's no point, is there? It's a waste of time. Anyway, that's what people do, innit? Right, that's enough of this update, I think. As you can see, nothing's going on. It's supposed to be housing and business units and stuff, and they were going to keep most of the buildings, but they're just going to plan now to keep the front buildings. The whole lot's going to get demolished, but if and when it'll happen, who knows? The sun's breaking through. So, I will love you and leave you, I think, for this update on the mental. And as I've always said, if you're interested, if you're new to the channel and you're interested in the mental, then take a look at my videos. You may find them of interest. 25 years, quarter of a century documenting the mental. It's just something I just got into. It's a passion. It's a passion, and I'll be the first to admit it. It's a passion. Yeah, you know, over the years I've had connections. I never worked there. Never ever worked at the mental, but I had a lot of connections and a lot of experiences and stuff like that. And my recommendation of visiting, going in the grounds, don't. It's absolutely not worth it. It's very dangerous. It's ridiculously dangerous. And you'll get caught. It's just not worth it at all. But as I said before, you know, if you want to see what it's like, if you're absolutely new to the channel and perhaps you've not even heard of the mental, or the North Wales Hospital, or the Denbigh Asylum, take a look at my videos. I've done tours of that place in the grounds, in the buildings. You can see me having confrontations with the police. I've always got on with the police well. And hey, what's that? There he is. Ha ha! Mr. Security! You can see his light flashing. I don't know if this camera's, where is he? I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you see an amber light flashing. He's up at that's by the morgue and the chapel, the isolation ward. I've just through the trees I saw his light flashing. So he's driving around in his pickup. So yeah, and my clashes with the security. Some security were okay and some not okay. But the police, I've always got on well with the police. Police know what I'm doing. They used to pull up and say, wind the window down and say, have you been in? Trespassing? Yes, I've done trespassing. I've done my fair share of trespassing. But the North Wales police, to be fair to them, I get on with them, okay? They get on with me fine. They know what I'm doing. They know I'm not a vandal. They know about me documenting, and they watch my videos. They tell me. They said, oh, I saw your video the other day and all that. I've always had a good relationship with the police. But you'll see some of the conflicts with security. So yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He can't see his light now. Right, I'll wander down to the front gate. So I'm going. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again.